Okay, in Fox 5 Health News, the Bronx ranks as the unhealthiest county in New York. Again, a new study finds it comes in last for quality of life, which includes poor physical and mental health, and in medical factors like smoking and obesity.
Wow, joining us now is Fox 5 medical contributor Dr. Devi Nampiaparampil. Good to have you here on this Friday.
Nice to see you too.
This is very upsetting because, I mean, New York is a first world city, and you would think every neighborhood in New York City should be, should be up to the standards.
I agree with you. I mean, New York has some of the best university hospitals and healthcare systems in the country, right? Arguably in the world. So to think that one of the major boroughs is ranking so low and for 7 consecutive years, it's really disturbing. I mean, you can see if you look at the report more carefully that the Bronx is doing better than some parts of the country in terms of premature deaths. So not well, but better than some parts of the country. So what that means is probably when people are in these emergency type situations, life-threatening situations like heart attacks and other things, they are able to get to those major hospitals soon enough to get care. But when you look at the more chronic conditions, so how they're managing obesity, smoking, lifestyle issues, or chronic diseases, they're actually doing very poorly. Now, I think some of that may be related to jobs and to income or money, wealth, right? That if you don't have money, sometimes your options are very limited.
The link there, right, I think is clear as day. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you just even think about healthy foods nowadays, I mean, the average meal at Whole Foods is probably healthier than the average meal at McDonald's, but most people can't afford to necessarily go to Whole Foods or something like that every day. And same thing with gym memberships and stuff. I mean, it's still possible to have physical activity or a healthy diet without those things, but it's a lot harder. And then when you think about just the stress level when you're concerned about jobs and income, you know, if you have more stress on a daily basis, that's going to make all of your medical conditions, generally speaking, it's going to make them worse. So I think all these factors kind of tie in. If you have poor health, then that makes it harder for you to have a great job or a good income. And then if you have a lot of stress related to those issues, that ties in and makes your likelihood of being healthy a lot harder.
Right, gotcha. All right, all makes sense there. All right, let's talk about this,
It's World Sleep Day, a global initiative aimed at educating everybody about sleep. So, Doc, what do we need to know? I know that I could listen to this forever.
Right. Bottom line, nobody gets enough sleep.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we were just talking about that a little earlier. I mean, of course, there are lifestyle issues, right? Habits. I mean, so a lot of people, they tend to drink caffeine in the afternoon, which then keeps them up at night. You know, we have devices, cell phones, and things that we check all the time. So there's 2 factors there. First, the light from the screens actually interrupts your circadian rhythm.
I believe that.
Yeah, so it actually mimics sunlight and kind of wakes you up. And then also the content of what you're reading, right? If you're reading a lot of things related to work or other things that stress you out.
When you constantly getting emails on the phone and all, you know, it's like you're never away from work.
Sure,
nowadays.
Exactly. I mean, you never really have that time to decompress. But then what we were talking about earlier too, if you have, let's say, a spouse or a pet or somebody else next to you, let's say you could sleep okay, but that person's always awake or keeping you awake, that's another factor to consider in terms of your habits and lifestyle, right? And then, of course, medical issues. Just being a doctor, I have to bring that up, right? So people have sleep apnea. If you notice, maybe the person doesn't always notice, but the person next to them might notice a lot of snoring or some trouble breathing at night, you might want to have your partner checked for sleep apnea. People can have heartburn that also keeps them up at night, so they can wake up with this acid taste in the morning or a cough. And then sometimes people have, especially in this season now with the weather changes, a lot of allergies. Exactly.
Right, so many reasons not to sleep well.
Yeah. That said, get 7 to 9 hours if you want to feel right.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, nice talking to you as always.
Good. All right.